So, here I am. I'm playing the game. No trailers and no guesswork anymore. Really just me and the game. Concerning that, it's really a surprise that after all the reservations I had, and after all the spooky ideas how this game could be terrible, and probably would be terrible, and me going in with pretty much no hype at all, expecting to be disappointed, this game still was immensely disappointing. At first, mainly by the things I already assumed would be disappointing. That being the colors, the lack of a proper compelling story, the atmosphere, and the dialogue system. Speaking of the latter, it's fucking terrible. Even more than I really expected. Concerns becoming reality, like any sense of role-playing, is totally lost in this very unprecise and mainstream system. I was trying to go for something like a Scottish demoman kind of character, like you have in TF2 and stuff, with a leaning towards the chaotic and evil in my playstyle. But that got ditched pretty fucking fast, since it's really hard to ignore how really not Scottish my character is at all. And how being evil in the game really just amounts to asking for more money here and there. I mean, the character, Nate, is a nice guy. He's really nice. I mean, he's from before the war, and he has a wife, or had a wife, and a kid. And he really just wants to find his son. And there's no changing this very fundamental approach to his character. He won't go renegade. He's just trying to find his infant son. There's no real moral comparison to blowing up Megaton, or extorting money out of impoverished hookers, or joining a big gang of slave traders, as there was in the previous games. The most dubious you will really get is doing something slightly mean or sketchy to get some info for your quasi-moral purpose of wanting to reunite with your family. But hey, maybe you want to play as a good guy. That's totally cool. But the system fucks you over in that side as well. I mean, remember all the cool and clever choices of dialogue you could use in the previous games? Like changing an answer depending on a rank and a certain skill, like medicine, repair, or, well, fucking speech? Nah, that's gone. High charisma or not, you will always ask the same questions or give the same answers. There's the tell me more kind of answer, the straight yes or no, or the supposedly witty answer, coined the quote-unquote sarcastic choice. What charisma changes is a success rating, the likelihood of that being indicated by a colorful font. And that's what the dialogue system is now. The atmosphere is distinctly modern, regardless of how hard they try to shove modern stereotypes of the 1950s and 40s down your throat. For example, the radio DJ, Travis, whom I liked because he's very funny and awkward as hell really, but he doesn't fit the mood very well, and I heard a lot of people hate him. He seems more like a character out of like a Tim and Eric or a Seth Rogen sketch, more than anything that belongs in a Fallout game. I mean, a lot of the NPCs impress with how much they don't seem to care about being in the apocalypse at fucking all. I mean, we have characters concerned with newspapers and freedom movements for androids, and if people are androids or if they're not. And you'd think that people would not mind who you are or where you come from, as long as you shoot into the right direction when shit hits the fan. But well, no. It's really quite retarded how they present this apocalypse. And speaking of retarded, let's start with the story. The story basically is you want to find your son, Sean, who gets kidnapped at the beginning of the game. And that's totally fine with me, as it keeps in check with the rest of the franchise, as always being in search of something, ranging from water chips to gags to dads to checkered suit-clad gangsters. The essential problem with the story, though, is that it falls apart really, really early. Spoiler, you find your son. Spoiler, he's an old man now. Spoiler, he's not only working, but leads the infamous institute. That happens roughly at the halfway mark of what I assume is the main storyline. From there out, it's more or less your choice with which group you have yourself entangled with, as all of them offer an available ending. The problem is that there really is no natural flow to all of this. Every group, aside from the Institute obviously, wants the Institute dead, but the motivations therefore are sometimes lackluster at best. So I found myself not really wanting to help anyone. I mean, like, the Minutemen are cool, I guess, because they want to help people out, and they're nice guys, but like, provoking a war between them and the Institute felt really forced to me. The Railroad, I don't agree with their principles at all. I mean, I don't know, maybe you guys think different, but I don't see synths as equal to men. I don't see them as real people. And the Brotherhood, in this game, I mean, well, the Brotherhood is always this overconfident, just group of badasses, but this time they feel more like a cohort of fucking frat bros. So the build your own story approach doesn't really accomplish anything at the end, as I neither felt like I was in control of what would happen, nor was I being awed by like a cinematic storytelling adventure here. It was plain bad, bland, and if you're honest, really, really predictable, because as early as the first Nick Valentine mission, I knew what fucking happened to my son. That being said, that's what I expected to be bad about the game. That was what I was mentally prepared for. What I wasn't prepared for was, well, the fucking gameplay, the controls, and the bugs. And I mean, it's like a fucking Bethsoft game. What do you expect? You expect bugs, sure, but what I didn't expect were fucking 5 game breakers within my first 2 hours, which I had to dance around with console commands. And I mean, one of the bugs was the fucking VAT system, the Vortex Assistant Targeting system, the stop time and shoot your head kind of system, fucking breaking after an hour into the game. So you heard that right. VATS fucking broke. A fucking core mechanic of the game, of the series, broke within 1 hour into the game on one of my characters. I mean, I like playing without VATS anyway, but it's really, really important in this game to have VATS. I mean, enemies are silly fast, they use cover now, they're really hard to spot in these very open areas, especially in the city where they're like really high buildings where they can be on top. And so VATS is key to just at least to use it for spotting, so you know where you fucking shot from. So being off to a good start, you slowly begin to realize just how much they changed leveling and the special system. It's really, really different. Intelligence, charisma, and luck are basically useless skills aside from the possibility of modding options for your guns that you might find associated with certain perks in the special. Strength is only used to carry shit now because I really can't see using melee effectively in this game. So you want to go and put your points into perception, agility, and endurance, so you can use lots of VATS, in case it's not fucking broken, hit shit with VATS, and have more life than whoever's fucking shooting you. And that's key. You better be a combat machine, or you will fucking die a lot. So the focus on combat brings lots and lots of stuff into this game, most of which is not that good. Because I personally found the weapon handling and controls to be clunky and unprecise as hell, which means for me, again, having no fucking VATs, that every fight is just heart-throbbing intense. And you might think that's good, but I personally like my games to be somewhat relaxing and, well, fun, and not terrifying survival simulators. But hey, even if you like intense and heart-throbbing, the heart-throbbing and intense part doesn't come from the fact that your enemies are very smart or something. It comes from the simple fact that they are more than you. And, well, your companions are useless, and they basically just run in front of your aim and bullet sponge the bullets that were meant for your enemy. Rarely fire their own fucking gun, and well, okay, that means if they're able to navigate around the fucking map and actually follow you and don't get stuck at every piece of rubble. And I'm a seasoned FPS player. I even play some online multiplayer games and I'm decent at them, I'd say. And I've played a lot of Fallout games, but I'm not used to the fucking Zerg rush tactics that make me honestly piss my fucking pants every time I get into a fight. Because they just all run at me and smack their fucking guns into my face until I'm dead. So after dying lots and lots of times, what I did probably for the longest time after that was playing Minecraft. I mean, building my settlement, which is not just totally stolen from a mod. Badly, I might add. Because the original real-time settler mod this is based on offers way more fun than whatever Fallout 4 was trying to do here. Because the building part, especially the controls first and foremost, were just plain fucking frustrating. And after spending like an hour or something building my fucking wood shack house that still looked like utter trash, I stopped and asked myself, what is this shit? Why am I doing this again? Honestly, had I spent my time playing Minecraft for an hour, I probably would have built something more impressive and way less frustrating. And realizing shortly after that I don't even like fucking Minecraft. And I'm not really sure how Todd Howard tricked me into playing 2 hours of a shitty Minecraft simulator with a Fallout skin. So, what's really left? What are the good parts of Fallout 4, you might ask? And honestly, it's the little things. Fallout 4 is, like the previous games, full of interesting ideas, concepts, and lore. But it all either goes too far or not far enough. And it's stuff I can't really go into detail about because it's all over the map. It's like a document you read, a terminal you read, a side quest here and there. Or just a character. Like, again, I think the radio guy Travis is really funny, but he really doesn't fit the mood. And I mean, it's excusable because Free Dog and Fallout 3 didn't really fit the mood. It just misses the era Fallout tries to portray. But he's a cool idea and I liked him. The main part, I guess, aside from improved graphics, is the new faction system. Because in this game, you really feel like you're part of whatever faction you choose to associate with. Like, there are the 4 main factions, the Institute, the Railroad, the Brotherhood, and the Minutemen, and you really feel like you're part of this group. I mean, you get a rank, you can be a Brotherhood Knight or Paladin, you can be the General of the Minutemen, you can be the leader of the Institute, spoiler. And that's really cool, because you had a faction system in Fallout New Vegas, but it's all just like, you're part of the NCR, but you're not really like a soldier, you have no rank in the NCR, you're really just an errand boy doing stuff, and nobody really views you as part of the whole concept. And that's the upside to the faction system. The negative part is how easy it is to get into every group and rise through the ranks in this game, because Minutemen, okay, they're kind of down and under at the beginning, but the Brotherhood, just basically you talk to a guy at like their gate, and he just talk to Paladin Dance, and then you do just one little errand mission with Paladin Dance, and you immediately become a knight. Like, there are fucking people training years and years to become knights, and you just do one little mission and get promoted to knight. And that doesn't fit with the Brotherhood at all, because they're this exclusive, paranoid fucking group. Same as the Railroad, same as the Institute, really. But you rise through the ranks real quick, and it's all done to, I guess, amuse the player. But it doesn't fit, and I just recognize that. So every good part about this game has its flip side. And that really brings me to the end of this review. And it makes me say, this game is just, like I said in my predictions, it's just a major mainstreaming of the Fallout concept. And I personally, honestly, I don't feel any real love for the franchise behind this. And if you care, if you're still hyped, then go check the game out for yourself, to believe me. I mean the map is the size of a fucking nickel, so it only takes like 10 minutes to see the whole map. But at the end now, I just ask myself, what in this game took 7 years? What were they doing for 7 years? What took 7 years to think up and create Bethsoft? It's honestly a dumbed down Fallout 3 with for our time antiquated graphics and a bunch of stolen mods and foreign game concepts thrown in. So what took 7 years, Bethesda? And to everyone who really who disliked the prediction videos I did, who was hyped, who rode the fucking hype train, I have to ask, is the hype train still going strong, or has it fucking crashed, guys? Has it fucking crashed?